There we go. Good evening, friends. How are we? Happy Friday to everybody. Set that on the back table. A little bit of dragon's blood incense there. Oh, welcome back, everybody. We have somebody on the screen. Who is it? We have Chris. Good evening, brother Chris. How are you? Good. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. I'm using a different type of light today. I have all kinds of lights. I got red lights, purple lights, I have flame lights, red light bulbs, LEDs. I experiment with lights all the time. If you look behind me, I'm experimenting with some lights there. So, welcome back to Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. This is the channel where we approach the paranormal differently. So, this is where we use containment over the chaos and validated credible evidences over egos. Somebody's posting on Facebook to this live. That's weird. Somebody I know. I haven't talked to them in a long time. So let's get right into this. This is Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. I am Tobias Josephson. Let me button up my blazer. I'm sorry. Showing you guys how unprofessional I am. Oh no. There you go. Fonda got me this. It's I don't know if it's a jacket or a blazer. I'm not sure, but I like it. So good enough for me. So I hope you had a good evening, my friend. You live in the Midwest with me, so hopefully it looks similar outside where you are. Make sure this thing's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It is good. All right. So this is the channel where we pretty much approach everything differently. But I got to say, I like Matt Hornick's comment from yesterday's live better. And we'll tie into that later today. But today, our title is Everybody on the Planet Feels Off Right Now. Now, is it something the paranormal affecting you, or is it something else in the world affecting you, and how you can take control back today? Okay. We're going to talk about why everyone feels off right now, including myself. Okay. It's not just because there was a full moon. It's not just because I'm a Scorpio. It's not because I'm a witch. It's not because I'm a paranormal investigator. It's because the world has a lot of things going on right now. Okay. And if you're being honest, you've felt it too lately. You may not know what it is. You just know the world seems to be stuck in almost a parallel dimension. Things look the same, people look the same, but everything just isn't quite right at the same time, right? And if you're being honest, you felt that too, okay? Not just in the world, inside yourself. Be honest. This is what we love about this channel is you can be completely transparent here and we don't judge you for it. All right? All right? So feel free to debate with us in the comments as long as you're respectful, okay? The whole point is as we start talking about how we're feeling right now. All right? There's a lot going on. Your reactions feel different. Your patience may be shorter than normal. Your focus is weaker. Now, all paranormal aside, right? Tonight, we identify what we're feeling together, and we try to take control of it together. Type off in the comments if you felt a shift, if you've felt something change that wasn't there a couple months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, a couple years ago, something that's relatively new in the world. Animosity, hatred, contempt, disinformation, narcissism, badgering, scamming, trolling, fraud, you name it, right? Type stable if you still feel grounded. And I'll be surprised if there's people in the crowd that say they're grounded, not saying that, or stable, not saying that's not possible. But most people on the planet right now are turned up on something, right? Can't help but notice it when you go to get gas. You're like, God damn, $4, $4.25. When's it stop, right? People are more reactive right now than they've ever been. That could be totally because of AI and technology enhancements, all right? But we are the ones that use those things, so we have to blame ourselves for all of this stuff. People are more reactive than they've ever been. They're more emotional, right? More uncertain than they've ever been in a long time, at least, right? Too much information, no clear direction, 4 sides to one story. Things are getting confusing. There's no clear waters in anything, right? People don't feel in control anymore. They don't feel in control of their lives. They don't feel in control of their jobs, even their social media platforms. You'll see it, right? You'll see it everywhere you look, all right? It's not just a pattern. It's happening, okay? Here's a paranormal connection for you guys. Interpretation. When people feel unstable internally, they interpret things externally differently. You do feel stable. Huh. That's an interesting answer, my friend. I feel stable tonight, but I'm trying a new gummy, so I'm calmer than I should be. When people feel unstable internally, and most of the planet is not feeling very stable, how are you, Truth Tarot readings? Interesting. Happy Friday to you. How are you? Yay, gummy. Well, I'm trying a new one. Usually I go for Torch brand. They're called Hoax, and for the 20 gummy container, they're 750 milligrams a piece. I usually take three to 5 a day. I'm trying a new one today. It is, I don't know what it's called. I'll go grab it. I don't know. So, I don't know. Hopefully this isn't against YouTube rules, but it is 2,000 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams each. So, like, I have a slight headache and I'm a little slower, calmer, more relaxed. So I can tell it's not the normal that I'm used to, and that's fine. So I hope you guys both had a blessed Friday. Lady Fonda just went to bed. She's got to work at 8 a.m. And then I'm going to go see my children tomorrow. It's been about a month. For a while there, it was like once every 2 weeks, but, you know, money got tight. The world got crazier. And so we had to cut back. And, you know, Jenna's been working as a manager at her location at her job. And so at 21 years old, she's completely engrossed in that. And so it was okay. But when people feel unstable internally, and if you look around the room and then look around the world, you can see it from people driving to the way people are talking to the way people are posting. People are unstable everywhere. There's instability as far as the eye can see on this planet. Some people call themselves professionals. Others, you know, are calling themselves political people, whatever they label themselves as. But again, My term is I see people just being people. Okay. But right now, everywhere you look, people are feel and acting very unstable, making choices from places of instability and emotions that are turned up without stopping and letting themselves calm down and thinking before they react. Everybody feels charged. Everybody feels attacked. Everybody feels like they have to engage, right? Silence feels heavier. Rooms feels charged, not because something changed, but because you did. Okay, this is how we're tying in the paranormal witchcraft, containment over chaos, evidence over egos. It ties into real world situations as well. Keeping yourself calm and authoritative during an investigation, why would you not use the same tactics in life right now? Right? You would. You would want to, anyways. Confrontation part. When was the last time you felt completely steady, as in completely stable? Life wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad. All right. Now, remember, life goes in ebbs and flows. You have a good couple of years where life feels really good. You still have a lot of problems, but you're not talking to your friends about it. You know, it could be shit like a random flat tire. You know, that's when life's going okay. You're not sweating the small shit. You'll notice people come to you more in times like this, where I call it the age of uncertainty right now, where people just aren't sure what the fuck they're looking at. They don't know if anybody's real, because it's so hard with AI to tell if anyone's real. Okay, there's scammers, there's trollers, there's bots, there's corporation owners of the platforms that don't give a rat's ass what you really want, etc. Okay, it's control, it's confusion, it's muddying the waters, and what happens? People get unstable. Okay, they get turned up after a while. Think about it. Repeated exposure to social media behaviors right now. What does that do? It affects people. You don't even know it. It's like a tidal wave. You have yourself being pulled in like a washing machine. Whoa, you don't really know what's going on right now. Okay. Are you talking about these people? Are we talking about these people? Who are we after? Nobody knows what's going on. We all have our knives and guns out, and we don't even know why. And we're walking down the street like this. Nobody has any faith in another human being right now at all. Okay. We say we do all the time, but we don't. Okay. Let's all be honest right now. We don't. We're all packing something because we're looking over our shoulders. We don't know. The world's really volatile right now. Okay. Like a stick of dynamite. We're trying to be careful. All right. When people feel unstable internally, they interpret things externally differently. Remember, you'll hear oh my God, there's somebody in the room with us, right? Now, if you look at real world situations we're all dealing with across the globe, are there not large groups of people reacting in the same way before they even stop and think? All right. Mic drop moment right there, right? Okay. Because there's millions of people across the globe. You could ask a question right now and they get mad at you because they really don't know what they're mad at. They're just mad because everyone else is mad. All right. It's almost comical. It's like the world has turned into sideshow attractions, and it doesn't matter what channel I turn on or what social media app I use. I see it, and it's comical. It's almost like free entertainment right now, as far as the world goes. I'm chuckling at it because I can't believe some of the people are so turned up. I really can't. Some of the stuff is silly. We can't really do much about it, folks. But what we can do is center ourselves, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. Tagline, right? And how you can take control back. A lot of people feel frazzled right now. We feel volatile right now. We feel upset. We feel angry. We feel frustrated. We feel regret. Okay. When was the last time you felt stabilized? All right. For myself, it's been a couple years. Okay. What I see right now in the current world's paradigm is I'm putting on my helmet and I'm buckling up. It might be a rough ride before it gets better. That's a realistic, logical response. Okay. But it's not from a place of fear. I'm not going out to the stores and buying all the toilet paper because I think something terrible is going to happen and I'm going to have to go underground. All right. That's not the type of fear I'm talking about. We're talking about the healthy fear. What do you do with the feelings you're feeling right now? Let's get into it. Okay. When was the last time you felt completely steady? Not only life is stable, but just steady. No distractions. You didn't have your TV on. You don't have the music on in the background. You don't have people in the next room. You're completely alone. Your device is turned off. All right. And if you've never done that before, we're going to talk about it here in a few minutes. Most people can't answer that anymore. They'll go, wait, last week I took a vacation. But when you took a vacation, was there a lot of people around? Well, yeah. No, we're talking about when was the last time you spent time on your own with your own thoughts, with no other influence externally? It's probably been a minute for some of you. Okay. So for some of you, practice with me. Let's sit still. Plant your feet on the ground like you're getting ready for a job interview. Straighten up your fucking back. Lift your head up. Keep your hands relaxed. Well, most people like to put them on their thighs. And just practice while I'm facilitating here. As you're listening or watching, whatever you're doing, sit with yourself. See what pops into your brain. Okay? That's the beginning of teaching yourself how to center yourself again. It's not that the world's out of control. It's that you're out of control. Centering is not about feeling better, my friends. It's about control. So sit upright like you give a damn. Pull your slouch up. Pull your shoulders back if you have to. Pretend you're doing a row or something if that's what it takes. All right? We all slouch. I do. See, I'm slouching right now. Sit up. Okay? Feet flat, hands still. Control your breathing. In 4, hold for 2 seconds. Breathe out for 5 or 6 seconds. We've done this before. We've called it in containment versus over chaos. It was pause, restabilize. But tonight, all right, little did you guys know it was a simple form of centering. All right, that I injected a few months ago, but nobody was in the audience then. But now you know. So control your breathing. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Ready? Out for 5. What you'll begin to notice immediately, or you should, is your body starts to relax. That's what you're looking for. It's called spiritual kindergarten. Anybody in the world can do it. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be a practicer. You don't have to be a meditation guru. You just start right there where you are right now. All right. Practice it at your own pace. Take your time. Now, if I'm being honest, it took me about 6 months to a year before meditation took hold, right? In the interim, what I was doing and didn't know it back then was I was teaching myself how to center myself again because the world, even 10 years ago, had become so chaotic. We had to learn when stuff like Facebook and TikTok and then the lives took off. We all got jolted and had to learn, right? This is no different with the AI kick. We're all feeling unstable because we're all being thrown to the wolves per se. No responsibility being taught, all right? No responsibility being taken across the planet. Doesn't matter what you're looking at, political, religious, or otherwise. Nobody wants to take responsibility for their actions of why they're causing misery for the rest of the planet. It's always them making excuses or pointing fingers on why. Agreed? Agreed. Let's continue. Try to sit still. Try to keep your feet planted. Make sure everything's off. Try 5 minutes. That's my honest, experienced advice is try 5 minutes. Try to sit by yourself for 5 minutes. Set a fucking timer on your phone and then set your phone across the room and spend the next 5 minutes in nothing but complete silence and see what happens. See what your brain starts thinking of. See what you start feeling. See if it has anything to do with the day. If you find yourself calming down immediately, then you have your answer. You have been reacting and absorbing things all day long without even realizing it. Make sense? So when you try to pause, your body doesn't know what to do because it's so geared for we have to externalize everything, but you don't, because what people are have happening right now is everyone seems to be getting lost in translation. Some people don't know who they are. They don't know what they're supposed to be. People are confused. People are afraid. Okay. People start lashing out, etc., etc. Okay. But I'm telling you, if you practice enough at it and give it the benefit of the doubt, I truly believe everybody can learn how to center and then eventually meditate. Okay. In this chaotic world, it can only help you. Right? It's only 5 minutes. That's all we're asking. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the night. 5 minutes after you wake up, as you're sipping your coffee, try to just center yourself. Don't look at your phone. Don't turn on the TV. Don't do anything. Practice that. All right. If you can't control your breathing, if you can't control yourself, if you can't, what you're saying is, I can't meditate. I can't center myself. I can't. I've tried. It doesn't work. What you're saying is, I can't control myself. That's what you're saying. You're trying to make meditation or centering a chore when it is not a chore, when it's beneficial for you. It'll help you see through the fog of what we call reality right now. And there's a lot of fog that people are ingesting. All right. It's making people goofy. Think about it. Okay. Name 3 things you see. Name 2 things you hear. 1 thing you feel. This usually pulls us back into reality. Let's do this together. Could be fun. Could be a train wreck. Let's try it. By the way, I will be getting interviewed. I don't know the podcast channel just yet, but she's a witch. It will be Sunday, our time, 3:30, which I believe their time, where her and her partners for the channel reside is Oregon. So there's a 2 hour difference. I'm sorry. So it'll be 5:30 our time. 5:30 our time on Sunday, 3:30 their time. Now I'm hoping they'll have this posted at some point tonight so I can share with you guys tomorrow. And then reminder again, I'll be on the road. But I'll be able to do things remotely. I'm finding it increasingly hard to get used to real computer world because I've spent the last 20 years doing everything in reality off of this. All right. So it's very hard for me as a new business owner to learn all of that, and then to sit at a computer is different. Because even when I was in a grocery manager position, I didn't like to be the office guy. I wanted to be the boots on the ground. I wanted to be where all the action was with the customers, driving the sales, getting the work done, multitasking. I get no joy out of sitting at a desk. I really don't. And so the fact that the world is now forcing us to get used to sitting behind a desk, I figure I might as well, at 49 years old, re-educate myself with it. So this centering is very important to how humanity is going to move forward in this age of uncertainty that we call reality right now. The AI takeover, it's viral. It's almost a zeitgeist on its own, isn't it? It controls most people on this planet. Raise your hand, not me, but not to the extent of some, I should say. I use it for knowledge and accentuating my already studied and gained knowledges And that's why I come up with scripts and I look down and I reiterate, because this is how I get past my mental faculties. It keeps me on focus for the most part, so I don't go on a 3-hour tangent and forget the point of the live. It'll take me a couple months. I have some, I don't know what they are. I have BPD and I have PTSD, anxiety, and some other shit. And I don't know. I think I'm slight autistic in some tendencies. I do some weird stuff. Anyways, so most people have a hard time, even my wife, like trying to meditate. She just claims she can't do it. Okay. I can't really make her see otherwise. I truly believe that if I could spend time with her one on one, I could probably convince her eventually that she could, right? But, I'm not going to force her either. But the other technique you can use is name 3 things you see. So I see my gummies, I see a lamp, and I see my tea. I hear Fonda in the background, and I hear this clock. And one thing I feel relaxed. Okay. Now, how do I feel right now? I know I feel relaxed because I just said it. Okay. But if you're not used to knowing what relaxation is, that's really what it is there's no outside source in your world right now. If you think about it, if I stop talking, okay, some of you probably went nuts. You didn't know what to do with that 5 to 10 seconds. What is it glitching? What's going on? No, that's called silence, sitting with myself. We'll do 10 seconds. Ready? There we go. Silence will not hurt us. In fact, silence might be our friend right now if we think about it. If you look at myself personally, what I'm doing on social media is I am on social media, but like this channel, differently. Okay. Not the way everyone else on the planet uses it. Why? Because for the business purposes, I need to have somewhere to share these podcasts or we're never going to grow an audience, right? We're just going to have Chris or we'll have uh, Truth Tarot readings or Matt occasionally or Moon or whoever, and that's fine. But I would like to eventually have 5 to 10 people in these podcasts. I think it would be interesting to have 5 to 10 people in these chats, Patreon included. I'm not looking for like the other people that are larger that want the hundreds or thousands in their podcast. I wouldn't know who I'm talking to anymore. I want to know people on a face-to-face basis. I know who Truth Tarot Readings is, and Matt, and Moon, and Phil, and who else, that I know personally. I feel after a few thousand followers, I would lose touch with all of you, your profile pictures and who you are and what you do. That's important to me because that means I take you people to be my friends. I'm interested to know about your lives and how things are going daily. These are the type of podcasts we're gearing for, right? But unfortunately, what we have to do is we have to help educate the rest of the world on how to center themselves because right now they just don't know how, or some just don't want to, right? So you sit still, feet planted, hands relaxed, watch what your mind does when nothing is happening. Make a point of that. What did you feel? Was that external? Or was your mind filling in the gaps like when you're on a paranormal investigation? When some people get turned up for no reason. Something falls off a shelf. Ding, holy crap, it's on. Satan is in the room, y'all. Right? They just immediately 0 to 1,000. Okay? When maybe it was their mind filling in the gaps. Centering isn't about feeling better, it's about control, getting control of yourself back. That's something I take pride on. I don't like being controlled. I don't think anybody likes being controlled, right? I have a problem with other humans who have a problem in the ways like I'm doing something wrong or they disagree. Like, that's great. That's what we're here for. We don't have to shit on each other like they do on social media to get that point across. You just part ways. That's it. You can support each other from afar. You don't have to agree with each other. That's another thing that the majority of the population needs to start practicing is when you don't like each other, part ways silently. Okay? That's a more professional, more adult way to do things. Not hit the report button like everybody on social media because somebody said something that offended you, so I had to report them. Oh, that's what we do now, right? Those people are afraid of something, I guarantee you. Okay? Those are the people that are living in fear that hit the report button like it's the block button. They're living in fear. They're afraid. They're confused. They don't know what to do. But they claim they don't want to center either because they have too much to lose. They're too busy. They have 4 kids and 3 jobs and 2 businesses. They don't have time to take 5 minutes for themselves. Yeah, you do. Okay? It's a choice. When is enough for you to tune out all the noise of the world? Because half of what you're following or watching isn't making you happy. And the point of being here on planet Earth is to be happy. And not many people are happy right now. Why? Because they're worried about things they have no control over. Because that's what humans do, is we think we control everything. And we are in control of nothing. This is it. This space that you can make a circle with is all you can control, human being. I'm sorry, but that is the truth. Try to test it all you want. I have. Okay? I have. And I've been pulled back into past personality traits. If you look even 3 months ago, I was struggling with them. That's what happens. Social media is like a tidal wave. Okay? A zeitgeist that has people just doing things they wouldn't normally do or say. And most of them love that. The drama fest feeds their what? Their egos. Why do they need to feed their egos? Okay? Fear, anxiety, depression. Okay? It's an internal problem, an internal imbalance. But most people don't know what to do about it anymore. We're trying to tell you what you can do about it. Okay? Take 5 minutes to yourself. Tell the world to F off. Take 15. I'm sure you deserve it, right? Makes sense. Pull yourselves back into reality is the point. What are actually people feeling right now? Disdain, anger, frustration. But it's the same conversations we've had for the last 100 years of humanity. Just louder because there's technology and there's more applications. And now there's AI. And now there's no privacy. You can't wipe your ass without someone across the world finding out about it. Holy shit, where's the camera at? Right? It's just the state of the world we live in. There is something we can do about it. You can choose to tune out, right? You can choose to center. You can choose to gain control back of your reality. My advice, take lots of mental health breaks from social media, but I run groups, so do I. Right? And I have a business, but mental health and health is most important right now. It's something that people keep talking about, mental health, 988, mental health, 988. My wife works for 988, literally. That's what she does for her job all day long. So I hear things that would make people cry for days. It's sad. It's sad out there. That's how I know the world doesn't know what to do about it. They're making excuses. They're lashing out. They're robbing. They're attacking. They're verbally attacking. They're posting. They're gaslighting. Any number of things. People being people. But you have a choice. Okay? What people think of me is none of my business. I'm probably the biggest jerk to some people. And it's best I don't know that. Because I am just being who I've always been. Tobias Josephson. Right? I say the same thing in Brotherhood of Male Witches. Right? Be an original. Okay? So many people are so consumed with being a Xerox copy of something or someone. I got to be like that. I want to be like him. I want to be like her. I want to sound like that. I want to look like that and talk like that and live like that. What happened to you? What happened to you? You can have all that. And you don't have to be that toxic personality. You can have all that, and you don't have to step on people's skulls to get there, right? It's all disillusionment because fear is what keeps people in check. At least they believe so. There are these few brave souls, and we're out there in the millions that just refuse to be constrained by fears. What is it we're really afraid of? Fear itself, as somebody famous once said. Okay? Because fear can manifest in any way that you or I can come up with. The craziest fucked up thing you could come up with, and it would be a fear for somebody. Okay? Food for thought. If you don't center yourself, you don't just feel uncertain, you don't just feel unstable, you start acting unstable, you start acting chaotic, you're erratic, you stop thinking, you react all the time, you feel bombarded. Just say it. Just say it. Okay. But again, I just gave you a couple reasons or a couple techniques of what to do. Limit your social media activity, even if you're 50 years old. It's that easy. Your groups will forgive you and they'll be there in a week. Take that mental vacation. Go outside right now and plant your damn flowers. Social media will survive. All right. Country boy will survive. Right. My God, people, turn your volume down. Right? My phone has to be on silence. Why? Because I would be driven insane by the amount of people I have contact with as a business owner and owner of the Brotherhood of Male Witches, which I'm mostly known for. My phone is constantly ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Eek, oop, eek, oop. If I didn't have it on silence, I'd go nuts. If I was a female, this thing would be an orgasm machine because it's on silence, so it vibrates. All right, that's just how we have to live, isn't it? Because if you don't, all right, it affects you. Think of the world like your cell phone on full volume. Turn it down. I went through my phone and through all my apps and I turned off all the notifications except for Messenger, Google, and I think my phone as emergencies, right? Everything else, social media, all the other ones, all the notifications off. I have to go into the apps to see them. And you know how much happier I am after a month of that? Oh my God, the silence is amazing. But it took a simple choice. When was it enough? Hearing about the politics, hearing about this faction on social media that doesn't like this faction on social media, or this team doesn't like that team, or I stepped on someone's toe. What are we doing? This is supposed to be social media, not step right up and get a rock thrown at you, right? But the world started reacting to everything they saw. Well, somebody posted this. I don't like it because I just saw the news and now I'm mad. Right? We forgot how to reel ourselves in. It's not our karma to bear. And yet, here we are on planet Earth, sticking our noses into everything that doesn't really belong to us all day long. And then we can't figure out why we don't feel right. We can't figure out why the world feels different right now. We can't figure out why friends are mad at us. Because the world's gone nuts, my friends, because the world needs centering. The world needs to pause. The world needs to learn how to take a break again. Remember the word recess? All right. When you were in kindergarten, much like spiritual kindergarten, you'd spend 2 hours in class. They knew they couldn't keep you kids down more than 2 hours before you just started twitching and let these kids outside, or you're going to have a room full of kindergartners going nuts. And then you did a nap after that, and you knew if you didn't follow that timeline, right? Think about it. Human beings, even adults right now, we need more recesses, more mental pauses, more self-care. And here we are. We wake up every day and we're worried about what? Everything but ourselves. Has any of you out there ever asked yourselves, why do I wake up and worry about what the political regimes are doing? Why do I worry about this? Or why do I? And a lot of people will say, well, it's to stay informed. But why do you feel the need to stay informed? I live kind of halfway off the grid. I look at the news when I feel I need to look at the news. But for the most part, my phone keeps me in the loop enough. through waking up every day and looking something up, I see enough of those stories that I glance at quickly enough to know what's going on. I don't need to stick my head up a story's ass and follow it around the planet or follow this story or that. Just, it's all bad. It's all bad. So why would I want to spend all day in bad? It's like walking into the Badlands with no weapons, and then you don't understand why you're defending for your life all day long. Well, because you didn't bring any weapons into a loaded territory, right? The world is loaded territory right now. It's full of landmines, people, places, and things that don't have our best interest in good at heart. I'm sorry. It's all about monetizing, and it's all about attention, and it's all about egos. Okay. As a witch, I deal with a lot of that in the group. Okay. It just is the way it is. The current world isn't going to calm down, is the point. But are you going to take time enough to calm down every day, to get your bearings, to know you're still on planet Earth, all right? To know that everything will be okay and there will be a tomorrow, even though we should live every day like it's its last, not like this, okay? People just lighting things on fire because they're upset, all right? Hate just begets hate, just begets hate. That's all it ever does, my friends. The world isn't calming down. It isn't going to slow down. So the question isn't how to stop it. It isn't how to control it. It isn't how to survive it. It's how to stay stable inside of it for yourselves. How to stay steady. How to stay calm. How to stay grounded. How to stay centered in a world that is the furthest thing from human beings being centered. Right now, the world wants everybody to look outward all day long. Look across the street, look in front of you, look at where you're going, go after the money, go after the money, go after the money. Don't worry about retirement, work until you die. All right? How do you stay stable? By centering. Eventually, centering can lead to meditation for some. You can meditate, calm yourself down, start controlling your body again, controlling your emotions again, giving yourself psychological triggers to calm yourself back down, right? The world may not stabilize ever. I truly believe that's probably a good answer to give. But it's up to us to interpret reality differently, isn't it? Not everything we feel is external. Some of it might be internal. Some of it might be trauma bonding. That's a big part of what's going on in the metaphysical and spiritual world. Is we're seeing tons of that. All right. We just do the best we can do in the environment. We keep ourselves stable. All right. And let the unstable do what they're going to do. They're going to be who they are. They're going to do and say what they're going to do. As long as you're staying stable, you're staying in control, it doesn't matter what the rest of the world is doing, right? Because you are in control. It's an illusion if you don't feel you're in control. And that's what we're trying to say is the world is so bombarding right now that a lot of people are really unsure of tomorrow even, okay? If you don't center yourself, you don't just feel uncertainty. You don't feel instability. You become it. Prolonged exposure proves that to anything scientifically. Social media is the zeitgeist that I believe could be affecting people in the same way. I used to call it a tulpa, but I think we're all describing the same energy. That amount of communal energy affects. We are energetic beings, even though, most of us are fighting that. We are, right? Not everything you feel is external, is the point. Maybe it's something unprocessed. Maybe it's something you don't want to deal with right now. Maybe it's any number of things. But until you separate the two, you're not investigating anything, or you're not stabilizing anything in your world right now. I totally agree with everybody out there. You know, everybody feels off right now. Everybody, myself included. A lot of people say, it's a full. Well, then it's not that we're talking about. It's the instability. Okay. It's the fear, right? It's the new channel of the world is fear in the headlines. Fear, fear, end of the world, fear, end of the world, fear. Right? Why? Because they're trying to control the masses. That's why. Because it makes people stop in their steps when they're scrolling. They'll see a fear-driven word or thumbnail, and what does it do? It psychically gets you to stop what you're doing. They're geared that way on purpose. What we're saying is you are being manipulated over time if you're spending long periods of time engrossed in those type of behaviors on social media. You can do something about it. Little mundane things will help. Little simple, I call them simple stupid. We've heard that term before. Spiritual kindergarten type things. Start where you are. All right. Like the Jelly Roll song. Sometimes you don't know what to say by the time you close your hands, right? But you're trying. That's the point. You're trying. Okay. And to reconnect with centering and reconnect with meditation, for some out there who may be watching this, it's like riding a bike, but it still takes practice again. Okay. There's too much information. There's too much in the news. There's no clear direction. Nobody really knows what's going on. It's the age of Ultron. No, I'm kidding. The age of uncertainty. I just call it that because it just seems like nobody really knows who said what or why said what, or you're seeing people who have said one thing and now they're hypocrites because they've said another. And so the whole world is just, lost their center per se. Okay. But take time in the next 7 days to try to steady yourselves. Try to center yourselves. Try to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Take a bath even, where it's just quiet. Lock the damn door. Put some meditation music on. Light some candles. Sit with yourself. Now, I wouldn't say meditation music. Just sit with yourself. Right? I like to sit and think with a candle in the bath myself. Just focus on the candlelight and let myself drift into a trance and let the mind go and do what it does. Some of the best inspiration comes out of those moments, right? Where there's no distraction, there's nothing to react to, there's no noise. And most people just seem to have forgotten how to do that, right? And in these uncertain times, right, with all these skirmishes and disagreements and volatile situations across the globe, we're all feeling it, right? Maybe we all think it's something different, but I think it's all the same thing. We're just all experiencing it differently, probably. So that being said, my friends, that was the fear arc for the week, talking about current events, something I didn't see any content creators I follow do, but I don't follow that many. I'm sure there are content creators where that's all they do is more like follow the news channels, but then they bring those stories directly into the podcast. I don't like that. Current event type stuff. I seem to take the viewpoint that people should be smart enough, and even if you're not right now on this planet, it's hard not to know what's going on, like I just explained in my world. I don't have my head up mainstream's ass, and I know full well what's going on for the most part, right? So that being said, it's hard to miss what's going on the planet, okay? It's volatile. It's like people are going to work on eggshells because AI might be taking their job here in this sector or that sector, right? Companies are downsizing all over the globe. That makes people fearful, makes them rageful, okay? Other people are lighting things on fire out of anger. I mean, the world's just completely out of control. And like we've been talking all week, we have world governments that say they're doing things and everything's under control, and it's not. Okay, they're just trained to tell you that, right? Everybody on the planet knows the world's in trouble, right? But here's the thing is we the people are the ones who ultimately can do something about it. And yet all we seem to be doing is talking about it, right? Or doing the activism, right? Which is only fanning the problems. We're talking about taking a different approach, finding ways to center ourselves so we can stabilize ourselves in this current world environment. So we have a hope of surviving with our intellect and our humanity intact. That's the point. Much like in paranormal investigating, you don't want to be a storyteller. Just because it's the most haunted place in the world, that's great. Don't you want to know it's the most haunted place in the world for yourself? All right. That's why most people become paranormal investigators, because we want to see it and experience it for ourselves, don't we? Bet your ass. Okay. So why not treat the lot? Why not treat the world the same way and do ourselves a favor? Take more mental health breaks from social media apps. Give yourself time constraints, etc. Okay. Unfollow people. That's a big one. When you see apps go, are you interested? Say no. All right. Take all those bells and whistles away so you can calm down. Take time away from all that. Take time away from mainstream news. Start taking a walk outside for a week as the weather is warming up. Take your dogs outside. Take your cats outside. Go out and do gardening. Take a drive. Get your bicycle out. Go play with your kids. Do something besides what the world is doing, keeping you sitting down, doing nothing in fear. Okay? When was the last time you felt completely steady in this world? That was the question we were asking tonight. The title was Everybody Feels Off. Okay? Everybody feels kind of out of control. Everybody feels nervous. Everybody feels the instability. Everybody sees the escalation. People are arguing or debating over silly things, right? Everybody feels off right now. So how do you take control back? Right? Give yourself breaks, right? Do more things that make you happy, okay? Now, there's a popular content creator that everybody in the world knows, and one of his best advices is never look in the comments. Never look in the comments. That's why I rarely look in the comments, because somebody's always going to have something negative to say. Not in this podcast lately, but if you think about social media and etc., think about it. Someone always has something contradictory to say, all right? So if you're going after a business or a dream, one of the best advices you can ever get is don't read the comments. You know, if it's an article and you're a famous person, don't read the comments after you do an interview, etc. Okay? Because there's a lot of people out there who have nothing better to do than attack human beings all day long. Okay? So I thought it would be a good thing to talk about tonight, because the world is, chaotic and toxic, and the zeitgeist of social media is working perfectly and causing people to lose their very humanity, their very emotions, their very empathy. All right. A lot of trauma bonding. Okay. Huge spiritual movement. But most of it is trauma bonding. Okay. Centering isn't about feeling better. It's about gaining control of your mind back. If you can gain control of your mind back, you can gain control of yourself back. When you can gain control of yourself back, you can teach yourself again how to manage your emotions in these trying times. So, thank you, my friends, once again. I like the script, even though I know I don't need one, but it helps me stay focused, or try to anyways. So have yourselves a beautiful evening. Blessed be, brothers. Good night. Fantastic weekend. Truth Tarot said, right. Yes, you do. To call, we had to use a touch phone. Oh, yeah, I remember that. No. No, 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 no. Yep. And then you had that big 100-foot cord. It was actually like 25 feet long, but the goddamn thing stretched out forever. You could like walk into your front yard with your phone, and eventually you'd forget. And, oh, fuck, shit. Gotta go back in the house. Right now you can walk around, do whatever you want. You be in a stall somewhere, still talking to people. Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? So, anyways, have yourselves a beautiful weekend, my friends. Again, I will be visiting my daughters tomorrow. It's been a minute, but I do what I can. So I'll try to make sure I'm checking in at least. And then Sunday, there is an interview. Let me see if I can find that really quick for you guys. What the interview is on the chat. There, go here. Let's see. There it is. Found it. Called Nightmare Road, I believe. I think it's called the Nightmare Road Show. Let me see if I can get this where the light's going to let you guys see it. I don't think any of you guys can see that. It's called the Nightmare Road Show. All one word. So Nightmare is all one word. Road Show. And that will be Sunday, 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Chicago time. But this person lives in Oregon, so for them it will be 3:30. So check your local times if you want to tune in. No idea what we're going to talk about. Okay, when I get interviewed, I have no idea. Okay, so like when Dustin interviewed me for Flying Chariots, the Rise podcast, it was, I believe, more about ufology and paranormal witchcraft related. When Phil Caldwell from Dogman Teepee Hunting interviewed me, it was for the Brotherhood of Male Witches. And then for her, I believe it's going to be for witchcraft again, for Brotherhood of Male Witches, probably how I became a witch, I was raised Christian, etc. Probably similar to topics like when we discussed with Brother Phil, all right, who is also a member of Brotherhood of Male Witches. He's interested in the craft, and so he's a very keen researcher, investigator over in England. Anyways, I lost my spiel for the end of the podcast. Son of a bitch. Oh, it was about the interview on Sunday. All right, so it'll be the Nightmare Road Show. Now, the podcast facilitator, the owner of that channel, her name is Ash Davis, I believe. Make sure it's not Davies. Ash Davis. It is Ash Davis. And so that's somebody that will be sitting down with me, and we'll figure out which streaming app they use. I believe I have most of what everybody uses. I have WhatsApp, I have Teams. Obviously, this laptop is Microsoft Edge. I also have Zoom. I have Discord. I believe I have Restream on here. I have Spotify. I don't know. So I have a lot, but until I fix these bandwidth issues, I'm not going to upgrade yet until the audience grows. We're having like 2 to 5 right now, which is a good sign after 2 months of pretty much solid shows. Not bad. It'll probably be a little slower now that I'm not doing every day, but it was for a keeping, again, myself stable. And that's why I took like a 3-month break from social media, because that zeitgeist was pulling back some of my character defects that I had fixed in recovery several years prior. So I started reacting all the time instead of stopping, thinking, all right, etc. So I had to reteach myself, go back to my recovery tool belt, go back to my meditation routine, go back to the basics, all right, and restabilize myself, which is kind of where I got the idea for the fear arc a couple weeks ago. Anyways, my friends, enjoy your weekend. We will see you Monday right here on Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. Again, I am Tobias Josephson, And this is the channel where we approach the world differently with my wife, Lady Fonda, and the team, Kyle, Sandy, Alex, Holly, Brian, Kyle, and a few others on there. Okay. So from our team to yours, enjoy your weekend. Make it the best you can. We'll see you Monday with a new arc topic for the week. Blessings and blessed be, my friends.